So there's one question that is currently really haunting me that I've seen on Twitter, and I cannot stop thinking about it. And it was, is NMIXX actually setting very unrealistic standards for K-pop? And I cannot get it out of my head because I looked, and of course it was connected to their Tiny Desk Korea performance. That at the end of this little commentary video, we're gonna look at least 2 songs from that. I'm super excited. But that question started to haunt me. I think about it so much. If you do not know which performance I'm talking about the one where they have absolutely 100% acoustic sound with no backtrack. There's a live band right there. The live band is quite literally bleeding into their microphones. There is no real-time pitch correction. There is no post-production. It's as bare as it gets. Granted, NMIXX are not the first massive vocal group in K-pop. We've got soloists like IU, we've got Taeyeon, we've got EXO, we've got Mamamoo, and we've got even current groups like Kiss of Life, we've got aespa. Even the little babies that are just debuting like Baby Monster are so incredibly promising when it comes to singing. But the question is, where is the standard? Where is the extra? And then where is that absolutely beyond step, which kind of marks the actual vocal artistry? And there we have to recognize one thing. NMIXX is one of a kind. They are a different breed. They are really out there as one of the most balanced and strong vocal group, while doing everything that other groups are doing as well, including a really difficult choreography. They're not slowing down on choreo, they're not slowing down on other forms of artistry that are needed to be K-pop idol. And that is making them so incredibly unique. It was really tough to say that they should be a freaking standard. I think that would be horribly terrifying and so difficult. I think we have to recognize 2 things. First, that not every group or soloist has to be directly focused on singing. It's perfectly fine to have a concept that does not revolve around vocals mainly, but goes maybe for a little bit more aesthetic or heavy production. And it's nothing shameful, or it's nothing that should be frowned upon. I think everybody has a different type of artistry, and sometimes vocals are heavily included and sometimes vocals are just included a little less. And the second thing is that NMIXX are incredibly one of a kind, unique group that absolutely cannot be just picked and replicated 10 times. We would have 10 NMIXXs. It would be so difficult to even find people to fill those groups to that vocal standard. I think this year already changed a lot when it comes to vocals in K-pop, and I'm just so excited to see how it's gonna develop. I personally felt that as well. I felt that we've moved enough forward, and I really was excited to reach out to many companies and many PR companies to maybe get a couple of interviews with singers and with bands, and everything went pretty well. Until the point I mentioned that I would love it to be vocal interview, because at the end of the day, that's what my audience loves. I'm a vocal coach, I'm a singer, so that's what I would love to talk to them about. And half of those interviews got just probably immediately cancelled. Unexpected? No. But I actually am excited to say that I've got a couple of interviews with bands that were actually very eager to talk about their vocals. And I could actually see that the moment that a possibility of an interview talking about their actual artistry. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy those little fun interviews about what do you like to have for breakfast and who spends the most time in the bathroom. They're fun, but I saw their eyes quite literally light up with the mention that this interview is gonna be about their vocals, about their singing. So I'm very happy to say that this autumn I'm gonna be able to deliver to you a couple. We're still working on some, but just the fact that I finally was able to persuade at least some people to really finally talk about their vocals, and the companies are much more open to it than before. Again, granted, most of the companies completely shut that idea down, which still kind of shows us the final approach to the vocals in K-pop. I think what NMIXX is doing with how they are showcasing their bare vocals, and more groups are really dwelling on like, no, I want as raw as possible. They are absolutely haunting their companies to have that opportunity. I think we're up for a big change, and I cannot be more excited. And I'm giving a lot of credit to specifically groups like NMIXX. I'm very proud of them. So that being said, I hope you are excited for some of those interviews. And yeah, let's check their recent Tiny Desk Korea. I am traveling tomorrow and I haven't packed absolutely anything. So I will be just reacting to 2 of my favorite songs from the whole performance. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. So let's go.
Love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, and I love it right back.
I always loved that modulation. Love me like this and love me like that. She's modulating very heavily into her voice there. And a lot of people are like always like, oh, modulation bad. No, modulations can be fun. They can be great for this like stylistic part of the singing, right, and the performances. This is the great example of like modulation used correctly, just to change the sound, make it a little bit more edgy.
Oh my God, oh yeah, love you say yeah. 숨겨놨던 맘속 뒷부분 꺼내 펼쳐봐 느껴지는 feel so yeah.
I love that little change.
No other way, yeah.
I actually have never mentioned it before, but Haevon's voice is probably... I have like 3 favorite voices in K-pop. They're not necessarily... like there's a difference between like the best singers of K-pop for me, technically, and then people who just sound I really, really love. And with girls, it is absolutely... they are on first place is Haevon and Hwasa from Mamoru. I'm so weak for their voices. I can't help myself. They're so gorgeous. There's something just so feminine and strong with them. Ah. I actually made a reaction to their dance practice. I have a new video coming in. It's going to be out in a couple of days when you're watching this video, where I talk about bands that actually do sing live on their dance practices. And of course, NMIXX is not gonna be missing there. And I specifically started to notice more and more of her. And I just absolutely started to notice how her tonal quality is so important for the whole sound of NMIXX. It's so bright. It's just, I know it's like almost stereotypically gorgeous. It's very princessy, but she has like a beautiful access to those higher tones without compressing them at all, or like her tonal quality changing some very drastically. And it just keeps this very relaxed, bright tone. It's her voice is just so gorgeous. Just listen. She doesn't have to go into the nasality to access those tones, which I love. Oh, I actually love that change. It's so easy. Listen to her voice in the lower section. They remind me so much of, I think, Ween and Solar. I cannot stop, I cannot stop my brain from making a lot of like connections between Mamamoo and NMIXX, like when it comes to the way they're building the harmonies, the way they complement each other, and you just have the pairings that are like unbeatable. And for me, Lily and Heaven, like a pairing, a vocal pairing, is just it's a match made in heaven. I don't think there are a lot of pairings like that overall that are just so beautifully in harmony together. Again, it would probably be like Ween and Solar, just gorgeous coupling. It's beautiful. Beautiful Edward. That was a really cute little yodel. She cut right through the vocal break there. All in chest. And then flip into the head voice. So, such a gorgeous little change there. I'm noticing. Listen, I'm noticing all the little changes that they've done. Love them. I think Solian is like a hidden gem when it comes to vocals. Listen, I remember when NMIXX came out, everybody was like, vocals, Lily, Lily, Lily. And even though like rightfully so, she is incredible vocalist, but I'm so happy that like everyone else is getting recognition as well. I am the biggest Bae like stan ever. Like when it comes to her and her position in NMIXX, people know me very well with this. Like I will die on that hill. I will die protecting Bae's like position in NMIXX. She's so freaking important. But again, Sully as well, like her voice, it's not the first thing that you notice on NMIXX, but like I'm progressively noticing her more and more. Probably because she has just like really stereotypically gorgeous tonal quality, and it is a little bit more demure, a little bit more mindful, a little bit more fragile. And because you have such a strong personalities vocally in NMIXX, it takes a little while for you to really discover her full potential. But once you start noticing Solian, you just can't stop. It's very similar with Bae. Just like once you start, you just cannot stop. It's just suddenly you start to hear them more and more. And it's just like with the whole NMIXX, they have so many layers and there's just so many sides to them. But again, it's amazing to keep on listening to their new comebacks and their performances, because again, constantly discovering something new and appreciating it a little bit more. I was so sad, to be honest, when I started to listen to her more, like Sulian specifically. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I even mentioned her properly before when I talked about NMIXX. And I was like, how? I love her. Like, how did it suddenly like lit a light bulb in my brain and I suddenly cannot stop hearing her and like I'm obsessing about her voice completely. Same happened to me again with Bae. I don't know. The band is incredible. Look at that visual. God, she's gorgeous. Listen to this. She didn't go directly into very airy head voice, but a little bit more forward direction. Almost falsetto. So instead of just diffusing it into a lot of air that would be really not substantial too much. A little bit more falsetto, so pretty. Those slides are always, I'm always saying, two people are the biggest enjoyers of vocal slides in whole K-pop. Jungkook from ATEEZ and Lily. If we would ever get them singing together, it would be like, who can make a bigger slide? It would be like a never-ending vocal slide competition. Like, both of them are so specifically into that, and vocal slides are very comfortable. Like, if you know how to do them, they are really enjoyable. It's not painful. It's not like a hard labor type of singing, actually, even though it sounds like that. It's not. If you know how to do them very well, it's the most enjoyable and fun thing to do. And those two, oh, they could have a vocal slide off. Gorgeous. Also, if we're never gonna get a dark R&B solo for Heaven, I am quitting. I don't know what I'm quitting. I'm quitting something. But like, I will go and protest somehow, somewhere. I want dark R&B solo for Heaven. I can then, I can go on my way. Very happy. But like, that is something that should be completely non-negotiable. Okay, let's look at one or two more. Let's go. I wanna dash, I wanna dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it, dash, I wanna dash, I wanna... Also, we need to give credits to the band. The band is incredible. You can tell like the songs are well composed because the band is also having so much fun with it. The modulation to dash, I wanna run it. So it goes very deep in the throat to get a little bit of a fry out of it as well. She, for the fact that she's singing live in acoustic setting, and they have to work well with microphones here because there's no balancing, there's nothing there to actually aid them with it. She's working a lot with the dynamic, which is very hard to translate well. So you can see so much layers to the dynamics, and I have to commend her because it would be much easier to just go with one solid level, which is going to be most probable that the microphone is going to process the best. But she really was consistent with like, oh yeah, I want to still deliver on the dynamics as well. Like, listening to this, we should get Sully and Heaven duo. Ooh, that would be really, really cool. They have like quite velvety voices. That was beautiful. I'm sorry that I'm stopping so much. You have to pardon me for that. I will continue on doing that because there's a lot going on. Beautiful climb down. Gorgeous descent. Good work with those registers. She's basically not mixing, but she's in chest and head voice. Beautifully working around that vocal break in a very controlled way. Zero to that dropped larynx. 0 to She has so much charisma. That is beautiful tone, and also on the great open vowel. So cool. This is so full of beautiful works around the vocal break. Again, you have upper register, the head register, and a mix. Lily is mixing here and there, but the upper register and the chest register, Lily is mixing a little bit, but the rest of them are working so beautifully between just blending those two or switching between those two registers. There's a lot of gorgeous agility there. She went here in this place. She helped herself with the direction a little bit. Yeah, it was high mix. She wouldn't dash, she wouldn't run. Even the rapper in, like, you have designated rapper in every group, right? But like NMIXX, quite literally, a lot of their charisma and the final sound is actually coming from her. She's not like a complementary piece to the group that could have been purely vocal. With the sound that they have or with the music that they do, she's so viscerally important for that, because she's adding all those tiny little layers and tiny little details and embellishments that are just contributing. Beautiful harmony. It was really high. She wanna run. I wanna run it. Damn, I love Dash. I have to say that it was one of those new NMIXX sound that I feel like they had their era, that they tried everything, and I was up for that, because like, listen, it's really fun to see a group like really rediscovering variety of genres. But this was, I feel like, start of like really like, okay, if we're gonna settle, we're gonna settle for this. And I think such a great idea, because if you can do this with also like an acoustic version of a song and a band version of a song, it's just so cool. I think it's very complimenting with their voices. Okay, and the last one I really wanted to check is their completely new one recently. They had Love Is Lonely. It's from their last album, and I just saw a snippet of it, and when I, like a couple of like 2 months ago, I listened to it, and I never got to talk to it in a full, so I really wanted to, because it's such a cute song. It feels like it was like a really good set and really good mood there. A little bit of air mixed. That was like this pitchy like this, and you can see it on her face. She was immediately upset about it. It's really hard. Of course, this is not like some massive critique. She knows that as well. This is absolutely 100% normal with live singing. This is absolutely gonna happen. We're not robots. As the singers, we're not robots. Tonight. If she would drop her jaw just a tiny little bit more, she would land it on the correct tone. But also, it's a very big difference to sing this with a band. It can be a little bit stressful to have your voice out there so bare, like there's only a guitar. She was like, damn it. The main reason why that pitch can waver a little bit in this specific place is that they're mixing a little bit of air to soften it up, but not enough for it to be like really airy singing. It is one of the hardest things to do is to have a clean tone or very lightly mixed tone, and very light with you have to be so careful with the weight of the tone, and that can screw a little bit with a pitch. It can happen. Also cutting right through the vocal break. Love is so lonely, la. You can hear that la, la. That's right through the vocal break. Love is so lonely, love is so pretty. That L is great for that there.
Love is so lonely, love is so lonely without you.
That's a hard climb on the ooh.
Love is lonely. Love is lonely.
Oh, beautiful crash back in the chest. Nice. Well done. The runs and rips queen. That climb. Most of the people, most of the singers even, I would say, would probably get it stuck. Just stop pressuring it. You've got to release it as it goes. More and more space for the tone. It's actually ascending, so you have to progressively create a little bit more space, but you cannot create a space here like with an open vowel. This is how we would do an open vowel. With ooh, there's a bigger struggle because you have to create a space inside of your mouth instead of being able to project that sound out. I really am happy to see her without the modulation as well, because that's how you can tell that most of her modulation in her rap is on purpose. She doesn't do it because that's her default, because when your modulation is your default, yes, that's unhealthy. That's not good. You never want the modulation to be your default. It has to be modulation because you use it only for a certain purposes and only in a certain places. And here she is actually showing that it's exactly that, just a modulation for her, because when she's singing and not rapping, you can hear how much she released that modulation, and she is in her very natural voice.
Love is so lonely, love is so lonely without you.
Gorgeous. They did so well. They're like true professionals, honestly. One thing that is also very important for me as a vocal coach and a singer is that I see them being very comfortable singing. So their default is very high quality. They are not pushed into position and places with their voice that would be stressful for them, uncomfortable. I think they constantly do push themselves further from the technical POV, but in their songs, they're just having the most comfortable, happy places. And the one thing that I hate to see the most is to see a singer whose their own songs are uncomfortable for them and stressful. I hate to see it because there's nothing worse. That's quite literally nothing worse. And I've seen a lot of singers in K-pop, usually specifically when you know, they are not composing or producing their own songs, which is majority, and they're getting just songs made for them that are just not mindful of their strengths and everything. And that's something that you cannot say about NMIXX. Their songs are so beautifully crafted for them. It's a joy to listen to, and it's joy for them to sing, which is honestly quite the most important thing. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Be aware, there's gonna be a video coming in like a couple of days where we're gonna talk about groups that are dancing and singing during their dance rehearsals. NMIXX is gonna be there. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here's the video that YouTube actually recommends for you, and here are the rest of my Korean reactions. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.